CVA's AccuraSeries, Bergara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
By our friends over at Flowers Garden Center and Deer Processing. They're at 4550 Eatons Creek Road in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys can get down there, start and open a weekend, let them take care of all your processing needs, and be sure to tell the Flowers family thank you for all they do for us here at the show. All right, great. First picture here. This is Lee Spears, and this was him on the opening day of dove season, ready to get out there. Great picture there, guys. We appreciate y'all sharing that with us. We had a lot of good pictures come in from dove season. You know, you get a lot of the kids involved, and
that's great.
And nothing like it. So thank you guys for sharing that. All right, Casey Hatfield sent this picture. This is his daughter, Lainey, and she is baiting her own hook here in this picture at a friend's pond. She loves to go down there and fish with Casey.
Is that a green rattling float she's got on?
I don't know. She might not be willing to tell you what she's using.
Look at that float. It's green. It's a rattling float.
It does look like one of your rattling floats. She might have been watching the show and paying attention to you.
There's something going on there.
She knows what she's doing, don't she? Thank you guys for sharing that with us. Good luck to you, Lainey. All right, this is a really cool picture. Now, guys, this one wasn't took in Tennessee, if you can believe it or not, from the picture. But this is Reese Dobson. This is a nice Merriam turkey that he took on a mountain hunt, but he also found a matching set of moose paddles while he was turkey hunting. And so that's what's there in the picture with that. It's not a setup frame or anything of the outfitter. That is the moose paddles that he found while he was hunting, and he also got a bird. So awesome, awesome hunt there, Reese. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Y'all can send your pictures to us here, 474 James Robertson Parkway, or y'all can get them to me on Facebook or on the email there on the screen, or share them here on the show just as soon as we can. All right, guys, welcome back. Tonight we've got Dan DeWitt in the studio with us and Wes Stone, and what we've been talking about is deer scents, but not so much what you're used to hearing about. We're talking about gland scents. We're talking about the different glands that deer have on their bodies and how they use those glands basically to communicate. That's how they communicate with one another and let each other know what areas they're in and what's going on, and that's what we've been talking about tonight. So, guys, we've talked a little bit about the differences, you know, in the gland scent versus, say, a urine scent, and some of those things. But what I want to hit now, Dan, and this is what you're really known for, okay, and that is mock scrapes. You have had tremendous success hunting over mock scrapes, using them to your advantage, and being able to get deer into bow range for you all over the country, not just here, not just there, all over the place. You've been able to make this work. But walk us through from the top. I mean, you're going onto a piece of property. You know, you may not know that much about it. What kind of areas are you looking for to get started? And then what kind of is your process to get one set up?
The first question that I want to ask and answer is, what's the best day of the year to start a mock scrape?
Every day, in my opinion.
Every day of the year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You got to remember, deer are social creatures. It's the social media of the deer woods. Do they paw in them year round? Most of the time they don't. That's pretty much a rut activity.
Right.
But the rest of the year, they walk in, they chew on that licking branch, they rub their forehead on it, they put their glands in that scrape. That's how they communicate, like you said. Everybody has a fingerprint of that. Now, what do I look for? When I walk into the woods, I go out there and I look for old rub lines. Is the first thing I look for. I'll scout the woods looking for old rub lines. But before I get there, now we have, used to, I did it on maps. You know, I'd go to the forest and get all the maps, and I'd look for different things. I like to look for topographical changes, kind of like you, the big fisherman here. You're looking for structure when you're looking for fish.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking for structure when I'm looking for deer. Same thing. And with mock scrapes or finding old scrapes, but I'll go down that rub line, and the reason I do, because that's where the bucks have walked. They're comfortable going there. Now, when I find a spot that I like saddles, I like ridge points, I like swells, I like different terrain changes.
A land feature. You're looking for a feature.
I'm looking for the features, just like
a big flat on a hillside.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I was up in Oklahoma a couple months ago. We're walking through this big flat, and all of a sudden there's like a 5-foot ridge for 200 yards.
There he is.
Oh my God. There was rubs all over it. Well, guess what? There's a camera to mock scrape there now, obviously. But the thing is, I'm looking for that change, because, and here's, let me tell you this about mock scrapes. The first mistake you make with a mock scrape is you put it on a deer trail. That's just not where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it.
You don't find them on a main deer trail.
You don't find them on a main walk trail. That normally, we just set some up in North Mississippi last week, and the guy said, "Man, why you go 10, 12 yards off the main trail?" I said, "Just hide and watch." We set it out at 3:05 when we left that scrape. At 7:30, we had 4 bucks at it. Now, does that happen every time? Let's get real. No,
well,
but
no.
we were in a pretty good property, and you know the terrain was perfect, the saddle was perfect. It was just a great area. But back to setting them up, and if I find an old scrape from last year, I'm gonna take it over.
Right.
If I find a new scrape from this year, I'm gonna take it over, because here's what you want to accomplish with a scrape, in my opinion. I want to set out a scenario where the deer come take it over. I want them to take over my scrapes. I want to take over their scrapes. Because if you find a scrape from last year, I promise you there's been a deer by there in the last week or two that's left scent. Now, I'm not a dog. I can't tell you that.
Right.
My nose ain't that good. I wish it was. Then we'd be talking a whole different conversation. But seriously, I look for terrain changes, and I look for and I know, and I'm going to sidestep just a little bit. A lot of guys today are using ropes and vines. Okay, I've been hunting for 50-something years. And I'm not saying they don't work. They do. They work good in areas.
They do. Wes and I have talked about them.
Good in areas, and I can show you places you hang up a rope, and it's like you might as well tie a dog to that tree because the deer aren't coming.
Ain't right. Like natural.
But I've yet to see a deer pack a rope or a vine through the woods and hang it. Now, I mean, come on, have you?
Yeah.
So I'm that guy. I'm that simple guy. I like to keep things as simple. I think today people have overcomplicated deer hunting. Deer aren't stupid, but they're not smart.
They're scared. They're survivors.
They're survivors. So if you use the gland against the deer for your advantage, go out. Another mistake, I have people all the time call me and say, "Man, I bought a bottle of your stuff," or "I tried Joe Blow stuff, and I made a mock scrape and it didn't work." Okay, I can tell you why it didn't work. Real simple. You made one. Yeah. When I go into an area, I do a triangulation. I do 50 to 90 yard triangles, and I set them up. I'm wanting the deer to tell me where they want to be, because if you'll let them, deer will tell you where they want to be. They're not going to come to every mock scrape you set up. So you got to set up multiples, kind of like fishing. You're not going to go cast at one stump. If you don't get a fish, you go home, right?
Right.
You got to set up multiples. Then once I get an area, I'll give you an example. We went into an area, we set up 6 cameras, 6 mock scrapes. 2 of them got hammered, 4 of them didn't. I'm excited now because I got 2 that I can triangulate from to track the deer back and forward to see what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and I can create a trail to those deer. I met a guy at one of the shows in Alabama this year, and I told him my whole concept. He sat there at the booth and while, and he bought some product, and he went home and did this. And the opening day of Tennessee the second day of Tennessee, he shot a beautiful velvet buck. Big velvet buck, because he went in, got set up, got his triangulation going, figured out where the deer were coming from, set up, shot that big buck.
Yeah.
So don't make deer hunting harder than it has to be. Let the deer show you where they want to be, and then you hunt them accordingly.
I think one point too that Dan hit on a while ago is, he asked when the best time to set up a mock scrape, and today. And, years ago we thought mock scrapes was something you did around the rut. You put your deer urine in it. Well, with cameras and just, watching deer behavior and learning, we know that when you set that thing up year round and you have those deer working it 365 days, it becomes an attractant, that's just going to work itself, all through the years, and becomes something that every deer in the woods is going to know about. And then there's going to be peak times where the bucks are it's going to be a place to visit, like a bait pile or a mineral lick. It's just another source for them to go to when the activity starts picking up. Yeah. And so the mock scrapes as a yearly tool is just another. I started using them as much as an inventory tool, as much as a hunting tool.
Scouting and inventory is
big
phenomenal.
time. I got something else we might go in later, but the moon phase is also, maybe we get into that later, but that's another good question I need to ask about the moon phases.
I'm religious about it.
Yeah. That's our
Deer move on moon phase. Fish move on moon phase.
Yeah.
Is there variations of that? Absolutely. But there's sometimes I won't go to the stand till 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, or I won't even hunt till the afternoon because of the moon phase.
Yeah, I've always said I don't know, and they can't even really prove scientifically everything as far as what deer and how the moon phase affects them. But Randall Haley told me this, and I've stuck with it ever since. I guarantee you, Wes has heard him say it. But if the moon can affect the waves in the ocean, it can affect a deer.
Absolutely.
And
I
humans.
mean, you know what I mean? It's
Sure.
It does have. There is.
Ask my wife. She
what
works
is
in
it?
ER. She'll tell you full all the loonies come out.
All of them do.
All of them come out. Well, we're going to get a little more into the actual setup in the next segment here, just how you go about getting them set and getting them put in place once you're there. But right now, what we're going to do, let's go over and do this week's product of the week. This week's product of the week has been brought to you by our friends at Caney Fork Outdoors. Y'all can find them at cfoutdoors.com, or you can get off I-40 at the Center Hill Dam exit, go down to the bottom of the hill and make a right, and they'll be right there at the Big Rock Market. Be sure to go in there, let them take care of you, and tell the Martin family thank you for all they do for us here at the show. All right, Dan, you've got some of your products here with you tonight. We want to talk about that, so hold it up and show everybody. Just tell them a little bit about what it is and where they can get it.
All right, there you go. Let me get, get me all lined up. Which camera?
Right over here.
Oh, you changed cameras on me.
There we are.
All right, let's talk about the Rookum juice and the Seymour deer. The yellow bottle is your Seymour deers, and the green is the Rookum juice. This is what I put in mock scrapes. I put 3 or 4 shots on the limb, clean out the dirt, 5 or 6 in the dirt. Seymour deers, I use it on my boots. I use it around my stand as a cover and attractant. These are gland-based. This is what got our conversation going. This is not urine-based product or gland-based.
We're going to get to that bottle in a little while and have a whole other conversation.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole other conversation on that little bottle.
Well, where can everybody get these at if they want to order some?
You can go to our website at oldindiantricksllc.com and order it. It's that simple because you're probably more computer literate than I am. My wife does all that for me, thank her. But it's, and we're looking for little small mom and pop dealers. I'm not looking for the box stores.
Absolutely, and this tonight, y'all can tell, we're not here to try to sell you this stuff. That is our product, and he'll be glad to sell you some, but we're wanting to teach you how to use this stuff.
That's the key. Our whole show tonight is about educating
100%,
people.
100%.
But this is it's a pioneer in this certain, branch of the industry.
It's not something you see a lot of yet.
A synthetic land base, you can carry this into a CWD area and use it. I mean, this is state of the art.
It is. Synthetic's a big deal with it right now with CWD. Yeah. So, well, guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to open those phone lines for you, and we'll have some more Southern Woods and Waters.